I'm here with Zach Hurst, designer of Stella AI, and Austin Hurst, the frame for the picture. Continue on, Zach.
All right, so this is our sidebar navigation, and we can collapse that. We can also collapse the chat, which if I go full screen, you can see it just looks like a normal AI chat, but we have add buttons for the ensembles it recommends.
And explain what this does and the product that you're framing
so
up.
The easiest way is to just show a video upload.
Okay.
So we're going to upload a video. And let me come over to find some videos. 1 second.
It's like you have a little bit of data on that computer.
Yeah, so here is a video of just a stylist speaking. I'm going to drag it in. So what's happening is we have a video where they show 5 or 6 pieces of clothing to the camera. Real rapid. This is my pink skirt. This is my silk blouse. And in this case, the video was actually recorded, where they were all hanging next to each other. So she was just pulling it forward and was really fast.
Right out of her closet.
Right out of the closet. And so what we do is we analyze using AI the actual video. So it's listening to her talk. It's actually looking at the visuals in the frames. And it's coming up with a detailed, rich description of what this wardrobe item is. So we can build a wardrobe card automatically. And so in the wardrobe card is effectively the title, it's got the description, how a stylist would describe the item, or how the manufacturer would on, say, an e-commerce site, if you're reading the description of a garment. And then we have style tags, we apply a category, and then one of the cool tricks is we actually understand where the item was seen in terms of timestamps in the video. And so then we can actually select the right screenshot, the right frame where the garment is most in frame. And that becomes the product image.
So instead of taking a picture from 3 different angles and uploading it, it's video, and with AI, the AI is able to customize that for the best flat piece look and then bring it onto the person as their avatar from their own closet and combine those into a calendary type event where they're going to be morning, noon, night in different cities.
Oh yeah, all that type of stuff. We have recommendation reports you can generate because it has context in your closet. We have chat with your wardrobe, which is both through voice and through regular text chat. So, hey Stella, help me pack for a trip, or I'm going on a trip to New York. Where do I eat and what do I wear at the restaurants you recommend?
So basically you have a stylist that's electronic, that's customized with your own apparel, and then is this subscription based?
Yeah, it's going to be subscription based, but effectively we've built all these interactive mood boarding tools and all these visual asset generation templates where now that I have images of what's in your closet and I know what those items are, not only can I build out ensemble recommendations like a stylist would, but then I can create the visuals as well. So if I want to create a lookbook, we made that one click.
So instead of a stylist at $5,000 a month in the Hollywood area, this is much, much less and arguably more effective.
We are launching it to actual stylists first, so they're using it with their clients.
So instead of them having an assistant, the AI is the assistant, and it saves them a significant amount of money.
Yeah, they don't have to do the graphic design associated with building all the visuals. They have an AI that's tapped into the real-time context of the closet, which is something that no store has. If you walk into a department store today, the rep's going to come up to you and they're going to say, what can I help you find? What's your style? They might try to build you an entire new ensemble, whereas most customers are just have a budget for maybe one new item.
Which then with this could flip into their existing wardrobe and give them 3 new outfits with just a blouse.
Yeah, so you're effectively, with video, the power of video analysis, and we call this real-time closet capture, where you can be in a store, you can show Stella your wardrobe. So here, as you can see, the items are being
populated.
They've been analyzed. They all fell into the wardrobe.
And this came off a video.
Yep.
Not off still photos through the closet.
So now I'm going to add them into the wardrobe. And we'll go
see.
So this has subscription-based model, and then of course you can also add affiliate marketing to like Amazon or something else for upsells, cross-sells, and then
Did I add them
some
here?
sort of a commissionable
Yeah,
revenue
I
to
added them
Stella.
into Stephanie's wardrobe here. But effectively, Stephanie has 60-something items in her wardrobe. This is, well, that one I emptied yesterday. Let's see. This is Candy's wardrobe. Sorry, the internet is very slow. Oh, jeez. All right, here we go.
But the technology is not slow. It's populating now, private link. So you can ask Stella to create a customized portfolio.
Right. So like this is Candy's closet.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is I can just select items
Mm-hmm.
and then activate templates.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to dress a character. I want to see a lookbook. I want to see a magazine.
Let's do a
spread.
lookbook.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So we're going to do lookbook. I'll do the pro version. I'll select more of these items.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. That's enough items.
Okay. And then we generate.
Yep. Now this does take about a minute because it's doing a lot of stuff in the cloud,
Sure.
but it's not just generating an image.
And this will get faster as time goes on.
Absolutely. The top of a lookbook has a flat lay representation. So we use AI to generate that image. But we also have an editorial description. We put a grid of the actual wardrobe items you use in this. So all the ones you saw me select, all those images will appear.
And so they popped up in less than a minute, or they're populating now.
It should have transitioned to me.
Mhm.
This could be a.
And how long have you been working on this project?
Oh yeah, I broke it yesterday. Okay.
How long have you been working on this Stella AI?
About a year.
About a year. And how many other developers are involved?
0.
So you are the sole developer, the brainchild behind this. And it's not like this is your first rodeo. You guys also built One Dog back when you were 19, which is a couple of years ago, like 20 years ago. You're just celebrating the 20th anniversary of One Dog, one of the world's top user interface sites, like a YouTube back in the day.
So this is what a lookbook looks like.
So a lookbook grabbed all the stuff that came from the video, put it into flattened form, and then now you've got all these items in a lookbook. Elegant, utility, chic. Elevate your style with a black one-shoulder top paired with an A-soft cream-colored cashmere sweater from J. Crew, and it tells you exactly what to do based upon your needs, the weather, the calendar, where you're going, what city, the genre of people, and the type of dress that needs to be either standing out in the crowd or mixing with the crowd.
So we build all these visual assets like magazine spreads. We can dress characters that fit the vibe. So these are the new,
And these are all AI characters,
Yeah.
AI models, and then you can get one close to yourself and then put your own avatar in as the customer.
Yep. And all the stuff you do inside of Stella lives in your generation history. So those are either you're removing backgrounds, but this is a mood board, right? So if I click the share here and go over to my Firefox, I'll show you.
And basically, this saves a woman a tremendous amount of time, and she doesn't have 15 outfits all over the bed and all over the floor rushing to figure it out because she does it electronically with AI assistants or a fashionista. And now all of a sudden she goes and picks the specific items. She's in, she's out, and she knows what she's going to look
So
like.
now, as you can see, Stephanie's account is editing with Zach, and Stephanie is over here.
So you have two people simultaneously editing in the same
Yep.
cloud account. So you're not sending things back and forth, but it's real-time sharing and collaboration.
Yep, and you can see it, jump when I click it over here and pull it back.
And this is a new feature you just added.
Yeah,
This
is
wouldn't
just-
have been available 6 months ago. The technology wasn't there.
Well, I mean, the tech was there. It's a lot of dev to build real-time collaboration
development,
on
yeah.
mood boards, and we have 50 different divisions in this thing. It's
And you built it all yourself,
of course.
leveraging technology today.
Yeah, so like if I want to go into the chat and find something, I've chatted with it. So here's an ensemble casual cheek. I just click add, and here they come. that just added into the board as new layers.
And this can happen in real time. So instead of throwing out your closet on the bed and on clothing racks, you can video your closet. It pulls it in and provides these real-time updates and examples, including AI models or your own avatar with your own face on it.
Yep, and you can also, select multiple items on a board, and say like this.
So it's not just subscription based. There can be upsells that complement the closet, save the owner time, money, and also dress them in any genre that they want, that they choose, whether it's, 20s genre, 2025, California, New York, a special event, anything that's customizable, and it can tell them what's in their closet that they even forgot about, and it pulls it up. And this can all begin with a person simply videotaping the items in their closet, which how long would that take to videotape the items in the closet realistically in a reasonable closet, not a clothing horse?
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on how fast you're going and how well organized they are and your process. But, this is something that would take you days.
Mm-hmm.
You have every other app, all to just raise $13 million. They want people to take individual photos,
Mm-hmm.
manually annotate them, do all the data entry. Nobody is willing to do that. That's
Right.
why professional closet services charge $5,000 plus just to come into your closet and do it for you.
Which for some people, that's the price of one outfit.
Right, but it's an insane amount of work if you don't have video analysis. And so that's what we've solved here is real-time closet capture using AI video analysis.
And you have, 8,000 stylists?
Yes, 8,000 stylists in the Glam Hive network will be exposed to this when we launch. And that's how we start reinforcing our chat models, because they're going to be doing the reinforcement learning for us.
Mm-hmm. Data training?
Yeah, effectively the AI will respond. They'll write out how they would have written the same response, and then that comes back into our training pool, and we learn from that type of stuff. We also will have thumbs up, thumbs down on the types of response it gives in the future, but we have to fine tune first.
Is there an investment opportunity available?
Oh yeah, the company will never not need funding.
I like that. So that's good.
But yeah, if we had funding, we would scale the teams, and
Mm-hmm.
I would have 20 division heads that I would hire immediately, and they'd all work on separate parts of the organization, and I would be relieved of having to do it all myself.
Nice. So that's coming in the near future with 8,000 Glam Hive stylists. Then let's say they have 5 clients each. That's 40,000 closets. And on that training data, then you could roll it out not to enterprise level stylists with high-end clients, but you could bring it down to a B2C business to customer for my closet or my wife's closet or a sister's
The
closet.
consumer app can be scaffolded really quick because all of these templates, all of the video capture, all of that, it's all separate endpoints in the cloud. So that's what I've been talking to Google about, is raising our quotas because we want to actually provide the video capture.
When you say talking to Google, you're talking about raising your quotas on their AI
How
technology.
many times they let me dominate their network.
Right.
And some of the stuff we do, we chunk videos into a bunch of different parts, and we parallelize that processing.
Because this is not a free technology. You have to
Well,
pay
of
for
course
those services.
not. And so it's not that Google doesn't want us to do the analysis. They just don't like it when I have a 2-hour-long video and thousands of chunks that I want to send all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the thing. But once they lift our limits, then we're going to be able to process crazy amounts of video. But also what I've been talking to them about is how we extend that as an API, because we're going to have APIs for everything from the lookbook generators to the virtual try-on to the actual closet capture. And if a company like a Nordstrom or an Amazon or someone like that wants to come in and build a quick consumer app where you can be in a store and be like, hey, Stella, what do you think of this? Oh, here's 7 ensembles you can make immediately using the items I know you have in your closet. This will really work for you versus, well, we know you're on a budget. This is an accessory that you would probably get one use out of. I can't really see it being used many times. And so it's that kind of thing.
But then it suggests something on a cross sell that would fit customizable, bespoke for them.
Yeah, it's like having a personal shopper that's guiding you through the process. If you have a personal shopper, of course they're not going to recommend you buy everything.
Right.
Otherwise, they're just a con artist.
Well, not only that, they only want you to purchase things that you'll reach for in your closet, because otherwise you shop with them one or two times, you realize you purchased emotionally, couldn't justify it on logic, versus you purchased strategically, and then you got all the comments and the compliments out in the field.
And it's that bias where you get over this hump when some person, if it's a professional, they'll recommend their recommendation. So now you're thinking of it from a standpoint of, well, I didn't make this decision on my own, an expert made it for me.
Right.
So if I don't get a compliment in this look,
it's because
on them.
Yeah, it's on them, because my expert knows that I look good,
So
or they wouldn't address me this way otherwise.
Stylists are very important as kind of that expert that gets you to do something outside of your kind of break out of your shell, but that's also what drives new sales. And so if they can provide actionable intelligence, which is, I have this in the wardrobe, this is the new item, this is how you combine them, this is how much use you can get out of it.
I like actionable intelligence for AI in this situation. It's another usage.
So they're effectively going to have a closet digitized in the cloud, and then this entire layer that they can chat with it, they can generate reports, research reports that they export as PDFs, they can generate visual assets, they can construct entire visuals on mood boards, and all of it lives inside of the same ecosystem. So once the closet is in, it's endless potential. Like we also have, for advanced
People, if I go into a mood board here, then I click on my little node editor. Now I can do full node-based editing inside of here.
Explain what node-based editing is.
Well, so you're effectively dragging different nodes that you have available to you, and then you connect them together, and you can create workflows. But with the templates we use, we have very advanced workflows. A lot of activity going on in one of these things, but it takes a long time to optimize the flow, all the different AI models that it calls, how the data transforms, but the end result is it's going to output something like a lookbook or a virtual try-on,
which we just saw.
Yeah. So
how does this work for the stylist if they buy this on a subscription base for their high-end?
Well, they're gonna have access to actually edit in this node editor, and then pull in all of the different things that we already have, like our upscale API or our image. Let's see.
Zach, can you do a real-time capture from the web on this?
Let's see. So I'm going to throw this into test 2 demo closet.
Start live session.
Allow. All right, here we are. This is a shirt. Oh, I have to start the recording. 1 second.
I'm going to stand behind you a little bit so it's not capturing my shirt as well. So we're recording at 12 frames. Maybe it's because I'm in the picture.
No. I updated the security policies over the weekend, so I broke a bunch of stuff.
So basically you locked yourself out with security so nobody else could hack in. So now you got to hack back in.
Yeah, I broke half the app this weekend.
That's okay. That's the beautiful thing about development. We want to break it so that nobody else can, because we can build it to where it's impenetrable.
All right. Well, that's basically Stella.
Stella AI.
So you're going to have all this ability to edit stuff on the mood board. It's like being in a Photoshop type app or Canva, where you have your different layers and you can modify them and drag them around, and you can do different things. But we also have the closet, the management, the recommendation stuff. Like this is a recommendation. So research holiday fashion trends, tell me how to dress with pieces. So it went out, found all these fashion trends, and then started talking about things in the closet, like her white tweed blazer, her pink silk blouse. And so when it knows what you own, There's a lot more that you can get out of these systems than just trying to guess. And Amazon knows what you've bought. They don't know if you still own that item, if you wear it regularly, if it's lost in the back of a closet,
or if it wore out,
it could have
dry
been
cleaning
damaged in the
issue.
machine, so you tossed it. It could be in a tertiary market, through Goodwill or hand-me-down. So we don't know what you have, even if we have your shopping history, because it could have been a gift.
Right.
And so, but if we have you go in and actually show us what you have,
Your own closet.
yes,
That's current.
Now we have a digital inventory of your closet, and at a bigger level, it's really interesting for investors because I don't need every closet in a DMA catalog,
What's a DMA?
like a
Digital.
marketing.
Digital marketing.
Yeah, so we have different zones in the country, and if I look at it from a top down, I can say if I have 1,000 closets just in Michigan, but they're scattered enough, now I can extrapolate what all of the closets in Michigan look like.
Right, because of the culture.
Right. So
Versus, say, Vermont versus New Hampshire versus Miami versus Jacksonville would be a different culture.
Yep. So at a localized level, when you're thinking about procurement, what kind of new items are you going to stock? What kind of stuff are you going to consign?
For the local store or the online. And so this is valuable data. So this is really a data play as well.
It's always been about capturing the closet data, and everything else is fluff.
And nobody wants to give up their closet.
Nobody's had an easy ability to do it because of the onboarding friction. So we've solved the cold start problem by automating all of the manual processes.
Which used to be a picture and data entry and description. Now it's a video, long form that comes into the short form.
And then if they do want to modify what the AI did, it's real quick to go through and polish and edit. But the AI is doing the majority of the setup. And so,
like 98%.
Right. And in most cases, it's writing way more detail-rich descriptions about your item than you even would. So in a sense, you're getting a better output by using the AI versus trying to do it manually for hours or days. In this case, you're just taking a few minutes, and it can also be a chore for a kid. Go catalog Dad's closet this weekend.
Suits, shoes, ties, belts, all
fun.
shirts.
They're going through the video.
Yeah.
They're learning about the item. Whatever they want to, however they want to do it, we see this as one, and it's everything.
You could pay your child $20
Right.
as a bounty for doing the closet.
And any camera is an input, so it's not just your iPhone. This is you're on a Zoom, like GlamHub does these style Zooms where the clients are holding up items and they go back into their wardrobe, they hold it up, the stylist is looking at it. Well, she's traditionally taken screenshots, handwriting notes.
This saves her hours.
We can do this in real time. It could be a screencast of you scrolling around an e-commerce website. You're just looking for new fashion items to buy, and you're verbally annotating. And so then you just send the video at us, and then boom, they all just appear in this view that now you can manipulate, and you can use them. And once you have them in your closet, that's where all the top layer stuff comes from, the chat, the visual assets. But none of that is possible until the items are in the closet.
Which then you have to have it on video to be able to scale it and to condense the time on it. One question, because this is something I often hear women say: I have nothing to wear. And the spouse is like, you have a closet full. No, I have nothing to wear. What does that do for that situation?
Well, a lot of the times that's just a problem of most humans can remember 20 or 30 items they have, and they're usually in the front of the closet. So when they come up with the idea of what to wear, they're literally scanning through that part of their memory, and that's all they have to work with. But if an AI has a digital inventory, it's going to choose things in the far back. It's going to make you dig. But you're going to get less wear and tear because you're going to have more uniformity in how you wear these items. So there's a lot of benefits of not wearing the same thing over and over again, aside from just looking the same all the time. But also, I think the biggest problem is people can't remember what they have.
Yeah.
And so then they say, oh, I don't know what to wear. I need to go buy something new. Or that's just a crutch to get out, buy more stuff.
But the reality is they still can buy something new, a blouse or a pair of slacks, because now it fits with 3 to 5 more outfits.
Yeah, and I think that's
more of the broad consumer base would be looking at the budgeting aspects of something like this. You know, the top stylists are with clients that have insane budgets, and they do buy an excessive amount, and they have a budget every month.
And they don't want to
for
be seen
clothes.
twice in the same outfit because
Right.
of paparazzi, and they actually monetize being out in the public because they're either celebrity influencers, they're content creators, and they monetize that on social media or influencer, referrals.
Right. So we have this situation now where anyone could be, just point one item at this machine and say, can I use this? And can I use this well? And if not, tell me why. And if I can use it, also tell me why. And how many ways I can incorporate, because that's what a stylist would do.
So how many ways can I incorporate it based upon my existing inventory of closet that nobody knows I have except me?
Right.
And I don't even remember, but now that I've cataloged it, my AI or my fashion assistant literally tells me suggestions, storyboards it for me in real time. So instead of having a bedroom full of outfits out of the closet, you go and pull the inventory that it suggests that you've already seen on the screen with AI models or yourself as the model sized to
Yes.
fit into that.
And once we have enough, reach in terms of the number of closets, I think it'll be easy to convince retail and especially e-commerce sites to do pilots where they embed one of our chat widgets on their site.
Yep.
For users that I've already digitized.
And of
us.
course that chat widget would be
It's our chat widget, but it obtains the knowledge of everything that the retailer has on its site.
a small language model that goes in and catalogs that stuff.
Well, not necessarily even has to catalog. Most of these companies already have feeds of all their data. That's how they provide Price.com and all these companies. So all we need is the FTP dump of every inventory item, and then we digitize that no different than we've digitized your closet. When you fuse that knowledge, now the assistant on the top layer of the actual website knows not only what you own at home, but what the store can sell you. And that's important because most of the time you go to these sites, they only know what they can sell you, but they can't tell you compelling reasons why you should buy one of these items based off the knowledge of your actual inventory. And I think that's going to drive even more sales because it's more establishing. It's you literally have an AI that talks and feels like a stylist, and it's going to be honest. It's going to tell you when not to buy something.
Right.
Some of these retailers might not like that, but the reality is we're all going to have an
People are going to
assistant
be
in our
moving this
pocket.
direction for
We're all
customized.
moving towards that. We're all going to have a coach a consultant that we can bounce the idea off of before we execute. And that's
And instead of $5,000 a month, it's far less for subscription base,
Yes.
especially at the consumer level, which will be rolling out secondary after the enterprise level to the 8,000 stylists
Yep.
with Glam Hive to capture those 40,000 closets for
And
training data.
And we may not even be the one that does the consumer app because of our APIs. Nordstrom could build it on their own.
And then leverage your technology.
Yeah, basically it's a cost plus model where we take our overhead to run all analysis, just fees we pay to all the other AI companies, and then we add a little cost, and then that's what we charge Nordstrom. And so now Nordstrom has a technology, they mask it with their own app,
Sure.
they build their own inventory into it, but we maintain the infrastructure, make sure all the video analysis works properly every single time.
So they don't have to go reinvent the wheel that you spent a considerable amount of time building, and then we'll scale.
And not just building, but maintaining.
Yeah.
There's endless edge cases. That's why we need teams. Is because there's things we find every day in terms of lighting conditions and how fast they're moving with the camera. And like the other day I solved auto rotation. So if they send in a video that's rotated, we automatically rotate it back. So when it's taking the product images, they're not sideways.
So that's an edge case, an outlier situation that you now have to say, okay, this happens 1 out of 100 times. Now that it doesn't happen any out of
It could be
100.
1 out of 1,000,000 times, but it's still eventually going to happen. And so the users need to have a robust experience across all these different edge cases. So that's been months of just finding all these different things, optimizing the pipeline, making it run faster. But now that it's stable and it works and it's working with this entire platform, that's when we can start opening it up. So that's why I've been talking to Google, and they're getting ready to raise our rate limits, which will enable me to open up this API to people like Nordstrom.
Nice.
And right now they could use it, but it would just be slow because I have to sit in a
Sure.
queue. It doesn't mean it doesn't complete. It's just slow.
But for enterprise level stuff, you need lightning
but
fast
the
speed.
second
Absolutely.
they lift those limits, it'll fly because of the way it's architected.
So basically, with funding, you get all these limits lifted, relationship
Not even
gap.
with funding, they're already doing that. But with funding, we get teams to stabilize everything faster.
And so you've already proven the model at this point.
Yeah, it's effectively a minimum viable product. We're gonna be able
MVP.
to put 8,000 stylists on it. It's not just a proof of concept; it is a full platform. A lot of companies are built today around one feature that we have, and those are entire companies, and they do very well. But when you bring all of the features under one roof in a platform, that's when you can get stickiness from the users and a subscription model.
They don't want to go anywhere else because it's a one-stop shop, and it's one subscription, not 5 or 6.
Right. So that's why I've built the workflow editors and all these things into it, because I want the users building new templates. Then they can contribute to the global template library.
Tell me what you built 20 years ago with One Dog.
That was video transcoding, which we use part of that in this process. And so these AI models that analyze video, well, the user might send in a 2 gigabyte recording from their iPhone because the new phones record at 8K at 120 frames a second, all that stuff. And so you're going to get these massive video files in, but you don't want to pay Google for the token usage to crunch a massive file.
You don't want to pay for 2 gigabytes when you can pay for 200 megabytes, 1/10 the data.
So we've figured out optimal templates to convert the input videos into a format.
Based upon 20-year-old technology that was cutting edge at the time, if I'm not mistaken, you guys built to what, 5 or 6 million users in 6 months on YouTube interface site back on a 3G network, crashed 2 Verizon towers, text messaging, 30-minute sitcoms over Razor phones in Kansas City.
The users were doing that.
Yeah, you guys didn't crash it.
But we did get a call from Verizon, and we thought we were in trouble, and they apologized to us and said that they're working hard to upgrade their network infrastructure to support innovative startups like ours in the future.
Didn't they give you like 18 free handsets?
Well, they were loaned, but we got a test on all of them, and so we were 19 at the time, and this is when phones were very expensive. It's before smartphones, so all the flip phones, early Treos and those types of smartphones.
Yeah.
But nothing like the iPhone had come out yet. And
Right.
so all of the different phones supported different formats because the manufacturers all rushed to market to try to impress the carrier and sell in the first video phone. And instead of communicating on standards, we got this giant fragmented ecosystem of all these different formats that all the different phones and the bit rates and the resolution and the audio codec versus the video, and everything is just different across all the phones.
Things were way from responsive like they are now.
So if you were on Sprint PCS's network, or Singular or AT&T's network, or if you're on Verizon's network, you're not going to be able to send the video you took to a phone on the other network back then.
Right.
Because the communication standards and VeriSign hadn't done that yet. So what we did was we came in and we created a technology where any video that you were watching on our site, which was just like YouTube, people shared videos with the world, you'd watch them, but then you could also send it to your phone. And all we would do is we'd figure out what kind of phone you had, and we'd transcode it into the right format, and then it would go to your phone and it would work.
So basically, this isn't your first rodeo. You have 20 plus years experience in this category, and you're bringing all that knowledge base and experience into the 21st century with 2025 and 2026.
Yeah, the video transcoding stuff is very important for what we're doing here, but it's just one of many, many components in a giant ecosystem.
So what's next steps? How soon to launch, and what kind of funding do you need?
Yeah, we're getting the stylists on there pretty much immediately, but we're going to start going out on a roadshow, and we're looking for legitimate runway, $1 million plus. We're not trying to bootstrap this with 50, 100K, angel investors.
Right, you need accredited investors that want to take something that can literally go to the moon, and you've got the cutting edge technology and over 20 years of experience in this space.
Yeah, and I've got the candidates picked out. You know, I know who we're gonna pull in, and some of these guys are really, really good workflow engineers, but you know, they also require paychecks.
Right.
They don't just work for free, and especially on a project in a vertical like this, where it's, you know, they have millions of options, so
Right.
you have to incentivize them properly. And so the only way you do that is to show that there is a war chest, that it isn't just month to month, and we're going to figure out 4 months from now if we can still afford your salary.
Right. And then they got to churn off and go find another job after
Right.
they poured their heart and mind into
We
this.
need to escrow the money, make them feel comfortable that it's not running out.
And you guys have been in this space a long time, so you know the best of the best and the freelancers that you can bring on and project manage. So you're the architect, the engineer, the project manager, the visionary, and then you bring on the team, and then it scales, and then the goal is to exit.
Yeah, and the team that's going to come on is going to understand AI very well, so we're going to scale very fast. A lot of engineers today are still refusing to use AI tools, and my organization is not going to be like that.
So basically, you can build 50 to 100 times faster leveraging the tools.
Easily.
Yep. Okay, and that also reduces the cost for employees, moves you to launch at a much quicker rate, and you don't need as much runway to get that plane off the ground.
Right, and the proof is in this. If I've built all of this myself, you know,
In 1 year.
in 1 year, it means I'm also using AI.
Yep. Zach Hurst, that's it, and Austin Hurst. I'm David Harabidi, and I approve this message.
So on this 5 megabit connection,